right? We're with a company called Million Money. And we're kind of, it's a very unique situation because Million Money is not a typical nor orthodox company. They do things very differently and they just kind of overshadow what we do, but we still have a wonderful opportunity to maintain our independence as entrepreneurs and to be as creative as we want to as we decide how to share our business. So let me show you a little bit of some details on how we do that. And if your mic is open, it would be fantastic if you would turn it off. That would be great. Okay, so so this is a great picture in my opinion because it deals with kind of a military mindset. When you're off and you're moving in a direction, everyone is in agreement and we're looking in one direction. We're not necessarily looking to the weaknesses or even the strengths of our left or right. We're focusing on keeping our eye on the goal, right? And so we have some very specific goals here in Million Money, but the very good thing about it is that our goals are success. That it's one goal, but on the other side of that success are these like several different points sticking out, because success for one person might be money for better health. For another, it might be college tuition or even high school tuition. There are some private schools that cost 15, 20,000 a year for like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, right? So once upon a time, tuition was far off. You could kind of see it in the distance, but now high tuitions are even in your face at early ages. So for those who want the best, they want to give their children maybe opportunities they may not have even had. These are the type of conversations that we're having that we are taking off of the shelf and we're able to have again. Because when you don't have the money, you don't have those conversations. It's either this public school or that public school. You don't even have an opportunity to dialogue in that realm. Well, we are changing conversations at dinner tables here at Million Money. The important thing is that we are not in this for ourselves, right? So there's a story someone told me one time, and I thought it was fantastic. It was like a parable of what happens in the table of hell versus the table of heaven. So in the table of hell, it was like this long banquet table. And there was this huge portion of food sitting in the middle in this, beautifully designed terrain. And people's arms were too short to reach it. They had ladles, but their arms were too short to reach the food. So they sat there literally wasting away. And so the scene was flipped. And they said, now look at this scene in heaven, what that looks like, right? So in heaven, there was this long banquet and there's this big terrain in the middle of the table and their arms were all so short. And the person said, oh my gosh, this looks the same. But there, people were scooping into the food and they were serving each other. And everyone was able to eat. And that's what we're doing here at Million Money. We're serving one another. And that is what makes the difference. When you lock in with people and you say, hey, I'm not leaving you back. I'm not. And I may step up a little bit ahead of you, but I'm doing that so I can get strong and come back and get you. Let's do this. That's what we're doing here at Million Money. No man, no woman, no vision left behind. So let's talk about what possibly you could do. We call them projects, right? Maybe your project is some of the things I mentioned. The concept is related to, I'll say it may be a cousin to crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is when one person's in the center and they need some help and all these people volunteer, donate, give them money to help them through maybe a tight spot they're going through financially. Why this is different from crowdfunding is because everyone isn't aiming the money at one person. In this project, it's community funding where we're all helping each other simultaneously. That's a huge difference. Like you don't have to wait your turn. Your turn starts the moment you get in with your contract. The moment you're in, you're a player. The moment you're in, you're both a giver and a receiver from day one. And you can start receiving on day one. You can go into the black the very first day that you come on board with Million Money. So this is what you would see if you were to go to our website, right? Something similar to this. It's a purple page. I always, as I'm signing people up, I ask them, are you at the purple page? This is what I'm looking for, the robot guy, right? This is a smart contract that has been designed by, I don't even know the person's name, some anonymous person to me, but he may be anonymous, but my gosh, I feel like he is a genius. There have been so many different things that I've been looking at kind of with my mind's eye, looking at other companies, right? Other traditional companies and even online companies. And there have been so many challenges, even through COVID, right? That people are facing, whether it's inventory, supplies, sicknesses, products won't go out. The payroll, we can't send the payroll out because the bursar is sick. He's not well, or he's busy, or whatever. Million Money is nothing like that, because we can bear the weight of whatever is going on in the world. We know right now we're facing a pandemic that's worldwide, but Million Money has not stopped. As a matter of fact, it has grown immensely. Somebody said too, when all of this first started happening, when things got really busy, they said, the places like liquor stores, they make money whether times are good or whether they're bad. People are either celebrating or they're drinking away, they're in the blues, right? So Million Money is like that, in that even as things are pressure filled on people, it's heavy. They don't know what's going to happen next, what's around the next corner, if they're getting their last paycheck, if a stimulus check is coming. It's all unpredictable, right? So then this opportunity comes out of thin air for me, right? Out of thin air, but I just believe all of our paths are aligned specifically and precisely, so that here we are being asked to pay $10 one time. Most people can afford $10. And you know what? I even had a mentor who said, he said, if I had a business and it cost $500 and someone couldn't afford it, but they brought to the business enthusiasm, coachability, focus, vision, hope, rolling up their sleeves, ready to work, he said, I pay the money for them. I'll take two of these type of people every day. So it's really not about the $10, because the business, it costs 0.03 Ethereum, which if you translate that comes to right around $10. Ethereum is a digital currency, which we'll talk a little bit more about, but it's about $10, right? So if you get someone who comes and says, hey, put me in, just put me in and point me in the right direction. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'm hungry, my family's hungry, let's get it done, right? Then that person is unstoppable, but it's a blessing when the right opportunity meets with the right spirit. That's what we're looking for, hungry people. Because, and I want to be very clear about this, because sometimes people think, oh, $10, what kind of business is this? If I get bored, I'll just walk away from it. It's just $10. But see, $10 is just the seed. I don't want you to look at the seed. I want you to look at the forest that the $10 is going to create. You'll miss your blessing if you look at the seed, right? So what you have to do, if you're smart, if you're wise, you'll latch into this, you'll graft yourself into what we're doing, and you'll go along with us. And in the beginning, I'm telling you, your timing is so sweet. In the beginning, we're like walking and making sure we're like kind of walking on a landmine field, making sure we're not stepping on anything. But now, oh my goodness, we have got it. We've got the secret sauce. We know how to cut through this thing like a speedboat, like a shark through water, night water. We know how to do it. So that means that you get to come learning from our mistakes, and you can get to the objective that much faster. $10 one time. I mentioned digital currency. The currency that we use is called Ethereum. For those of you who have in the industry, you may have heard of Bitcoin, right? Digital currency is basically, it's money that you're not holding physically, but it has its own weight, and it has its own value, and it can be transferred. You can use it to buy goods and services. Ethereum is the currency that we use. It's like the sister to Bitcoin. It's the second most traded digital currency. When I joined about 7 weeks ago, one Ethereum was valued at about $187. Today, one Ethereum is valued at about $230. So from my own personal standpoint, it's been growing since the moment I've joined. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go to, right? So I will say this, when I joined, full transparency, I really didn't care what the Ethereum was about because I knew what the page said. I read every single word on the web page, and it said that if you plug in and do your part, the system will pay out 1,500 Ethereum inside of about 100 days, right? So doing my part means getting to work, right? And I want to say this, being broke is hard. And in this situation, staying on top of your business, being disciplined, following through, making the phone calls, helping. Yeah, that can be hard, but being broke is hard. Being wealthy can be hard. Choose your heart, right? You get to make that choice. So as we look at the Ethereum, let me just talk for a moment if we would transfer it over to dollars and cents, just so we can have a rate of comparison. Our system is a 2x5 matrix. That means that as you bring in two people, when you first join, you have one job. You got one job, and that job is to bring in two people who also have the mindset to bring in two people, right? Don't just bring in two people and say, I'm done, because they could be two. They could be like, your great grandma and your great granddad, and they're not going to do anything. You know that. But you want to help them. You want to put some extra money in their pocket, right? But if they're not going to do anything, that's not going to help them. You need to bring in two workers, right? And guess what? We're loving on people left, right, upside down. So in many cases, we do bring on our grandma and our grandpa, but then we put two people under them, right, who are going to work. And that helps grandma, grandpa, and it helps you. This whole thing is about helping. If you have a helping spirit, helping mindset, you could do very well with Million Money. So 2x5, that means I bring in two people and they bring in two people and they bring in two people. So of course we're doubling by a factor of 2. On your first level, 2 people, second level 4, third level 8, 16, and then 32. At the 32 line, that's your 5th level. That's kind of a milestone for us when you first come in. We're like, yeah, let's get ourselves promoted. We call it leveling up. Let's get ourselves promoted and get down to the 5th level because, ooh la la, the money on the 5th level is fantastic. So I want to say when you do your $10, that's a one-time payment out of pocket. Everything else comes from your profit. Every time you promote yourself, you're paying out of your profit. The way the company, the algorithm is set up is that you bring people on, and on some level, they end up putting money in your pocket. Everyone's doing the same thing. When you come on, you're putting money in someone else's pocket. But the money that they put in your pocket, that's one value. And the money that you need to promote yourself to another level is always going to be less than the money they put in your pocket. And that's your profit. That's your profit. So let's look at what your profit comes out to in dollars, just to have a big picture, if you will. On your first level, you make a couple of dollars, $2. And this again is based on, let's say if the Ethereum did not move, right? On your second level, it's $27 your profit. Third level, about $126 in profit. Fourth level, almost $1,500. Fifth and sixth level, over $8,000. Seventh level, over $11,000. Eighth level, almost $26,000. Ninth level, $95,000. And 10th level, over $400,000. So I'm going to say what's always said to you in any business that you've done, that this is a perfect matrix, right? So things that make things imperfect are humans. Humans can tear up a perfect matrix and make it imperfect. So let's say in this example, your total value is about $400,000 just based on the rate of what it was at this chart, $400,000. So let's say People don't do what they're supposed to do. There are holes all in your organization. People were supposed to get to, they didn't. They chased another shiny object. They didn't follow through. They didn't answer your calls, etc., etc. So if you just cut this in half and say, okay, I didn't make my 400,000, I only made half of that. I only made $200,000 in 3 months, in 100 days. This is based on 100-day activity. The other thing I want to say is as you're going down to your 5th level, there's something very uniquely designed about this program in that even though I talked all the way through 10 levels, I want you to know that what actually happens is your levels 1 through 5 take on a dual personality and they double over and reappear in level 6 through 10. So that means on your first level, if you got your 2 cousins in, right, cousin A, cousin B, and they bring in 2, who bring in 2, who bring in 2, all the way down to your 5th level. Then on your 6th level, you'll have 2 more people in. But these 2 people are cousin A, cousin B, same group of people. On your 7th level will be the repeated 4 group that you have up here on your 2nd level, and so on. I just say this plan is so nice, we just do it twice. They just fold over and reappear in the bottom half of your matrix. One of the best things that I feel about this system is that I don't have to know who's on first base. I don't have to know, okay, cousin A, I think you pay me, but let me call corporate and see if you pay them, if they got a position, or if you paid Tony over here. I don't have to do any of that. We just push a button and the payment goes through. And it's trackable and you can see it. It's transparent. The system takes care of itself and it can handle the weight of the people joining. When I joined, my ID number was 387,000, somewhere in that ballpark.
381,000.
300 and mine was 387. And today the ID number is, I think some people signed up today and their ID was about 603. So that's over 300,000 people who have joined since I joined. The average that we're looking at is about anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 are joining every single day. That's how great and big and robust this program is. Even in our team, we hit a record today. We hit a record high of 99 people joining in the last 24 hours. 99. So we're averaging about 75 people joining every day in just our team, in our pocket of the world, of the million money world. So this is a moving team, this is a growing team. And so your next logical question would be, how do I get started? What do I do? And I would tell you that in order to get on the field, you want to get your wallet together, right? You're going to have to manage your money digitally. And that is put in a digital wallet. So you have a couple of choices. There's an app called the Go Wallet. It's G-O with an exclamation point, the Go Wallet. You can get that in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. This is a very, very convenient wallet. It's very, it's very simple to use. And one of the reasons we like it, it's new for us, but we just changed over from another wallet. So for those of you who have the existing Trust wallet and you're on an Android phone, that continues to work, no issues there. But what we're finding is that we wanted to move to another platform with the Apple phone. And this turns out that it services both Apple and Android. So for those of you who like to have that digital lifestyle, you want that beach money where you're on the beach and you're running your business and you can just pull up your phone and punch a few buttons and your money's moving even, as you're about to run out into the water, right? You would love the Go Wallet, absolutely love it. For those of you who want a different option where you may want to put it, in your office and you want to see your team on a desktop or a laptop and you can manage everything the same way, right? You would use a different program, software called MetaMask. And as I'm mentioning, Go Wallet is new to us, like pretty new, but we're seeing people in other teams use it, loving it, and I've already started using it, love it. The MetaMask is something that is very easy. Two things your wallet has to do. It has to get your money, it has to track your money and hold your money, and it has to be attached to the Million Money website so that it can feed, the money comes from your wallet into Million Money website to open up a contract. And as you're making money, your earnings have to go back into that wallet. So I want to say this because I tell you, this is one of the most frequently asked questions we get. When I make 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, how do I get my money out? You know, and I want to say, first of all, it's very important to understand this. This is your wallet. Only you have access to it. You have a private key or code or password to it. No one else knows it. It's so critical that you literally must write it down. And I'm suggesting in several places. You write it down, you make a few copies of that paper, and you put it in a safe place. Because if you lose that access, there is no customer service to help you. This is what we mean by decentralized. There's no central banking authority that you can call into and say, can you help me out? My pet's name is such and such, and my favorite color is orange. That means nothing to no one. This is the beauty of decentralization, but it's a lot of responsibility to it as well. So that's how important the wallets are. So we'll walk you through that. Your sponsor will walk you through getting started. We'll walk you through how to get it set up, how to fund it, what you need to do to get the proper amount of Ethereum in it, right? And how to separate it out, because we have one goal, and that is to help you be safe as you earn your money, right? So we want to show you how to do that step by step. And we become pretty good at it, I must say. Two things I want to point out here too, because now I talk about the company in and of itself, Million Money, great company. I also have to say that our team within Million Money is pretty great too. And by that, I mean that they're great at support, great at helping. You know, the leadership has just time and time again shown themselves to be servant leaders, right? In it for the group. We really do believe in community effort and working together. So one of our top leaders, Leslie, has put together these incredible flyers that come from, you know, this brain that never sleeps. And he's designed these flyers, and it's about how can I help the team win, right? What can I do to help my Million Money team excel? So he came up with a couple of different designs that you actually have access to. I'm going to show you how you can get them. So here are a couple. I'm going to show you two more. And as I do that, I also want to invite you to look at, let me move this out of the way, to look at where you can get these flyers from. So here's one more in English, and we have another flyer here in Spanish. And I want to say that you can download these flyers and then put your contact information on the bottom, right? And once you have it, you can print them, you can send them out digitally to share them with people, you know, however you would market anything else, right? And there are tons of marketing websites on all over the internet that you could use to get people to come back and take a look. Everything we do is really about take a look. Let's see what we have. Just take a look. One thing, now I'm going to try this. First time I've ever done this. So let's see how it works. So one of the things that Leslie has done is put together these really cool business cards that will help you, again, get people to take a look. Very rarely do people see something one time and say, hey, I'm all in. That sounds fantastic. Let me in. That's not normal. We know that. But what if you could get people's attention and have them take a look at something that you had, even if you just put this in their hand and said, hey, take a listen. Check this out, take a listen and get back to me. Let me know what you think, right? The reason that is smart is because you're creating leverage. You're not having to stand there and talk ad nauseum about what Million Money can do. You can plant and go away. You can plant all day to 10 different people and leave, let them process, and then come back to answer their questions. So the way I look at it is I say to people, it's like a baseball diamond. I want you to get around to third base, right? And then I can bring you home. I don't want to necessarily sit on or at home plate and tell you all about Million Money when there are tools to tell you. There's webinars like we're doing now. There are videos. There's an audio call right here that we're about to listen to together. There are tools that can tell you what I can tell you. So in order to avoid redundancy, I'm going to let you listen to the tool, and then I can fill in any gaps that you might have. So let's see how this works. Everyone has access to this. I'm going to see if I can make this work. And I'm going to ask you for feedback, Tito. I'm going to put it close.
Thank you for calling our recorded line. This is without a doubt the best decision that you have ever made. A simple phone call that can change your life forever. My name is Jeffrey Baylord, and as one of the project leaders at Million Money, it is my privilege to invite you to discover how thinking out of the box can create financial solutions for you and your family. When we discuss ways to create and access more money faster, many people lean on conventional methods to get them to higher ground. But we have seen time and time again that conventional methods just don't work. What if there were a way to actually turn your cell phone or laptop into your own personal banking system? A system where you don't need to see if you qualify to participate. You can make money from your own money. You can borrow from yourself and avoid outrageous fees. You can basically have your own private ATM in your pocket. What if there were a team of people who stood ready to help you design such a system? Here at Million Money, we are all partners in a joint project with one master goal: to help everyone involved to finance their individual vision. Welcome to crowdfunding on steroids. In traditional crowdfunding, there is one person who is the recipient of the financial outpouring. But in our proven model, we collectively, through a peer-to-peer algorithm, give and receive funds all at the same time. This is exciting because people come to us needing money for many challenges: getting out of debt, student loans, medical bills, real estate ventures, philanthropic desires, just to name a few. I want to stop and ask you, what are the desires of your heart? In partnering with us at Million Money, you will soon discover that your vision will become our mission. We are connecting the masses to their gifts as we help to fund their projects. This is a global initiative, and on average, over 5,000 new members are signing up every single day. Money never sleeps, and we want you to wake up to fresh possibilities, taking advantage of the cutting-edge technology that can be in the palm of your hand. The growth of internet networking, social media expansion, digital currency explosion, all of this is happening right now. Do not miss this window to position yourself in the overflow. Our method of sharing the monies and funding wallets is safe and privatized. We use digital currency called Ethereum, which is decentralized, allowing us to move quickly and directly in our member-to-member payments. You can truly make an impressive income all from the comfort of your home, and your one-time investment is only 0.03 Ethereum. At today's present rate, that's about 10 US, one time. For less than the price of a pizza, you can literally earn a six-figure income from the comfort of your home, all while helping others do the same. Together, we are saving families. Together, we are making a difference. Together, we are helping people dream again. The world of technology is moving very quickly. Join now and ask questions later. You do not want to miss out on this amazing opportunity. Join us today by getting back with the person who invited you to the call. For more information, visit our website at www.myatmmoney.info. Remember, bring your vision and we'll turn it into our mission.
So, my takeaway, and I hope yours is at least part of it, would be don't get left behind, right? Don't get left behind. We're in a very unique spot, even regardless of COVID and quarantine, regardless of all of that, right? Maybe many of us are coming into a space where, you know what, we want to leave something for our children. We want to create the legacy that never really took off, right? We want to continue. Maybe someone did give us a legacy from our parents or our parentage, right? And we never really were able to float it the way they were. And it most of the time comes down to money, right? I found that a vision can be wide open and the lack of money closes it until it's almost dark. So with Million Money, we're opening the flaps again, and we're seeing people move forward again and speak these great conversations that I mentioned. So please use this number to your benefit. And I want to tell you that, Leslie is willing even to get these cards into your hand with your information on it, right? So you could actually use this digitally, email it to someone. You can take it to your printer and have it front and back, designed and put it in someone's hand. And again, this is just another testament to the team of support that you have to help you win. That is our focus. So take this number down one more time, 800-341-0649. And regardless of whether or not you're in the States, in the US, you know people in the States, right? You can still pass the number on to them. I plan on putting this at the end of my signature block on my outgoing emails. So there are so many different ways that you can do it. I have one team member who said, you know what, I'm going to take these, I'm going to print them out, and I'm going to go to every barbershop within reach and salon, and I'm just going to pass these cards out, right? Because it's saying, get back in touch with me, get back in touch with me, right? You don't have to hover over and watch a pot waiting for it to boil. You just have to turn on the fire and give them the card and let the right people for whom this is ready, perfect timing, it'll come together. We're not, if $10 is too hard or this is too hard, then it's too hard, it's okay. There are thousands of people, tens of thousands of people who are praying for relief, and here you are showing up and putting a card in their hand. They get up off of their knees and here you are in their face. So I'm encouraging you to use this tool and every tool that we have to your benefit. Remember, this is peer-to-peer sharing. Million Money can take the weight of anything that you can bring it, because the more people that come in, we're just continuing to pay one another and share with one another, collaborate with one another. Everybody wins with this one-time investment that cycles every 100 days. Let me show you one last thing. I want you to see where I got these cards from, or these flyers, because I want you to know the benefit that you also have. Let me put this in front of you. So there's a site that is the site that we use as our resource page, our social media page, our interaction page. We go here to get ideas, interaction, insight, FAQs answered, issues. How do I go through this? How do I navigate this particular situation, right? So the website is called zerogravitymlm.com. I would encourage you to sign up for this site tonight, like even now while you're looking at me, it's that critical. We're about to do something massive with this that I will tell you about after I show you the resources, okay? So this is the main page of Zero Gravity. As you can see, it looks like typical social media that you've been, I'm sure, used to viewing. So there's interaction on this page. We share ideas on this page, right? You can chat on this page to other people, you friend people. Yeah, we're all familiar with that. So I'm gonna go to a couple of things here. Promo tools. This is where I got those flyers from. So everyone who joins this free site, it's free, Zero Gravity MLM. Everyone who joins this has access to everything, no holds barred. So you can download any of these flyers and actually put your contact information on them and share them accordingly. You have access to all of this, okay? So that is under the promo tab. The other tab I want to show you is this one, frequently asked questions. So I'm in Million Money and I've joined Zero Gravity. Well, what exactly is it? How does it work? Show me more about the Million Money compensation plan, right? Oh, even in Spanish or Portuguese. How do I get started? What are some new things? What are some pitfalls I can avoid? How do I register? How do I promote myself in leveling up, right? These are the type of questions that are free. People ask them all the time. So I do want to say that million money is a learning curve. And guess what? We all started at the same spot. None of us knew about, the wallets we're working with, how to level up. Everyone learned. So I want to say that as a way of encouragement. Don't let this overwhelm you. Just take it one step at a time and trust the process. So check this part out as well. And this is what I want to talk about in closing. Million money has linked up with zero gravity. And by that, I mean the leadership within our team, right? Our team is saying, you know what? Zero gravity is looking for a fit because it wants to design and leverage wholeheartedly a perfect matrix scenario. When I showed you about all the money that can be earned in million money, if the matrix is completely filled, no holes. It's tight, it's condensed, every space is filled. If you're dealing with perfect behavior from imperfect humans, I hope you caught that. That's a non-starter. Zero gravity recognizes that we can have a system that would squeeze all of the errors out. So we're actually going to launch a beta test. We want to see it. We've been talking about it. We've seen zero gravity run with other systems, but we've not seen it run with million money. We are so excited because million money in and of itself it's a fantastic program. I've never seen anything like it. But we're taking the best of million money and locking it into what zero gravity has to offer. And we are just looking at hitting a home run so that we can walk around the bases. So what that looks like is everyone standing in a single file, just like you would, let's say a schoolroom class, right? It's time to go to the cafeteria and all the kids line up single file. That's what we're going to do at zero gravity. We're all lining up single file, except it's not a class of 20 students. It's a group of 1,000 people all lining up in single file. When that happens, there's going to be a starter pistol that goes off, if you will, and the person in the front of the line will latch on into million money, get his or her ID, and they will turn around and pass the baton to the next person. And they'll put their ID in the system, and they'll turn around and pass the baton to the next person. And all of this is going to happen in hours. So what we're looking at, so I told you the immediate goal for most of us, even just joining Million Money, is to get down to that 5th level, because there's something exciting about that. And there's something very profitable about that as well. In this zero gravity beta launch of 1,000 people, we are looking at getting down to that 5th level in days with no holes, no gaps. No money's going to trickle out because everything is going to be condensed. That's what we want to invite you to, because I'm going to tell you the starter pistol goes off when we have 1,000 people in line. We're not going to do it with 500 people because we want explosive income. I'm going to tell you what that means. We are looking at people earning up to 32 Ethereum inside of about 10 days. 32 Ethereum inside of about 10 days. So you say, what's the investment? Man, that's the best part. It's $30. So basically what everyone is doing is they're buying 3 positions. You buy 3 positions, you set your wallet up, ready to go. And when the person taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, it's time, here's a baton, you link your wallets into the system, and then the next person goes, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person. So we're going to be working around the clock, making money all day. Oh, let me tell you when it's going to start. It's going to start 4th of July. My goodness, Freedom Day, Independence Day, right? So when all the flares are going off and the firecrackers, we'll have some flares and firecrackers going off in our minds as well. That's the first day of this. It's going to kick off on that day. And then the second day, everyone's going to be in position, and everyone in the system will be able to level up. They'll be able to get promoted to the next level. And we'll check it, smooth out all the rough edges. And the next day, day 2, Same thing. Everyone will be able to level up, get promoted. So in a perfect system, we're looking at 5 days, 5 to 7 days, 8 days, where everyone is at level 5 and even beyond, right? By the time we run through the system. But it's going to be like clockwork. And we have some stellar leaders at the top who will be there with magnifying glasses and microscopes. And we're going to make sure that we catch things that could topple things, right? We want to keep everything in balance. We want to keep everything in motion. We want to keep everybody awoke, right? Awoke, connected, engaged during their part. So you're invited to participate in this because we need 1,000 people. We need 1,000 people because the bottom line is that this is going to bring when I think of a sports event, you know, when they turn the lights on in a major baseball park or a football field, it just lights up the field. It's just total darkness. And they turn those lights on and it's a brilliant light and you can hear it. And there's light, there's not darkness anywhere in the corner. That's what we want. We want that financial, you know, depravity and financial scarcity and financial fear that's covering people and that's weighing on people's spirit. We want to turn that light on and have it scatter into the corners as we create abundance and prosperity and options, right? So 32 Ethereum might be, it may be somewhere around 6,000. It just depends on what the Ethereum rate is at that time. $6,000. You may say, Coach Kim, that's not abundance, right? But let me tell you why it is. Because when we do that, I believe that we will break the internet because most of these companies don't pay like that. Most of these companies that people are in, they pay pretty much their auto ship, which might be $50 a month, $100 a month. The people who make the big dollars, they're so far up on the stage and you're sitting way back here saying, that's my sponsor, that's my sponsor. But you're not there. We want you there. We want to put you on stage, right? We want to put you on the stage of your family that says, I'm the provider, I had the dream, I'm following through, let's move to the other side. We've now gone from being problematic to becoming part of the solution. Now we have things that we need to help other people in our family, in our community. And then we put legs on this community build that we're doing and we become unstoppable. And people will break down our doors saying, we want in. How can we join your team? How can we be a part of this? Because the company we're in, you know, we like it, but it's not paying like that, right? We want to start all eyes on us. So we're going to be under the microscope, but we believe that if you do your part, which is bringing the 1,000, you got to do that. If you don't do that, we don't launch. It's that simple. If you do your part in bringing the 1,000, we're doing our part of tweaking the system, setting it up, making sure there are no holes, because there's a lot of stuff that has to be done backstage. So if you agree that we both do our parts, July will be the best month ever. That's all I can say. It'll be your best month ever. So please get back with the person who invited you to hang out with us tonight to say, hey, I'm in. I want to join. I want to be part of the 1,000 Club build. So this is how we're doing it. When people say they want in, I'm going to give you an example. This is the mindset that people have. This is where we're going. So once you join Million Money, then you open up your Zero Gravity MLM team and you go here. Let me see if I can highlight this. Yep. Then you come onto this wall and you say, hey, at Coach Kim, please put my bank account on steroids. I'm all in. That's who we're looking for. People who want to run with the big game. That's what we're about to do. Right? So we're going in. I told someone I have a Spartan approach, right? I'm a former military officer. So, I can deal without the creature comforts for a minute. I can do that. because I'm not looking at being inconvenienced for, I got to help people. Yeah, it's going to be a little rough. It's going to be tough. We're going to go through a little tunnel, but we're going to come out into this bigger place, this larger place where we have more options. That's all we want to do, is help people create more options. So if you have the mindset to grow and to blow up and to be coachable and to be a team member, then we want you on board. Please get with the person who invited you to hang out with us tonight and say, hey, where's that website? What's your link? How do I download that wallet? I'm all in. So that being said, I want to close out the sharing, and I'll take a couple of questions to see if anyone might be, one little thing might be keeping them from moving to the next step. So is there any question? You can open up your mic and we will be glad to address them. Someone says that Coach Kim, please fill our bank account on steroids. That's a great question, Gwenny. Great question. Actually, a statement. That's what that is, because, at first we said, we have a few hundred people already in Zero Gravity because it's a membership organization. And again, it's free. Why not just let everyone in Zero Gravity be part of this? But the wisdom told us, nope, people have to affirm that they want to be a part of it. They have to say, I want to partner with this vision. I want to be part of that 1,000 club. Because if you don't say it, for us to assume it, right, we would be stepping in too far. We want to hear it, because then we can hold you accountable, right? That's fair. We're going to help you make about 32 Ethereum. I think it's fair that we can hold one another accountable. So you got to say it, and we'll be glad to answer. Any more comments, questions?
Coach.
Yes, Alcatel, one.
There is Denzel again, the blind man. I'm all in.
Yes. Denzel, CJ, you're in CJ's team?
Yes, he spoke to me about it already. I'm all in.
Fantastic. We're going to make sure that your account is set up on the Zero Gravity page, and I thank you for stepping out. And I'm so excited that you're all in. I really, really am.
Yes, I'm looking to help other blind people or people with handicap also, so they can know that there's something they can do business-wise. It's not a business, but some way that they can make money using something like this. This is very interesting, and I love it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna talk. If your ears start itching, that means that I'm talking about you. I'm gonna talk to CJ about you, because I want to find out more. And I love that you have that heart to give and share. And I can tell you're supposed to be here. I'm so glad that you came forward. Thank you, Denzel.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I see a couple of people
Coach,
on.
Kim.
O'Neill,
Coach
go
Kim.
ahead. You got it. O'Neill, go ahead.
Yeah, right. Could you please dispel this notion about people? I'm having problems. People telling me that this thing is all pyramid, and I can't get it out of their head. Would you please explain for me, please, what this thing is all about?
What?
You get me?
I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. What is all about? What's the?
This keep. Sorry. A lot of my prospective people that I'm talking to, they all keep telling me, I don't want to join, this is a pyramid, because a lot of people have been hit by pyramid in the past. And I just can't get it out of their head that this is not pyramid. Can you explain for me, please, a bit, to some unsuspected, perspective, or what I call it, people that would like to come in, they keep telling me it's a pyramid, and I say it's not.
Well, I'm going to be very frank with you right up front, so our job is not so much to convince people, because you are here, I am here, 600,000 people are here. They're here.
Yeah.
So we're not looking to twist anyone's arm, because guess what? If you twist their arm, once they get in, if they find one hiccup, they'll find a reason to not do it. So, I mean, you're kind of working against yourself. In that and that's just the reality of human nature. There are tens of thousands of people who will jump at the chance. I've had people, O'Neill, as I tell them about this, they have said to me, shut up and take my money. In other words, stop talking, I'm all in, right? There are people out there like that. So don't waste your time, because when you do that, you're actually you're defeating yourself, right? And it starts making you question, like, you need to be around more people who are like, I'm hungry. Look, I don't really, and total transparency almost, look, I'll do anything as long as it's not illegal or immoral. And my gosh, and then they come over and start hanging out with us and say, oh, wow, these really are loving people who want more from me. I want to be in that mix, right? Pyramid, if you're looking for evil, you'll find it, but you won't find it here, because that's not who we are. Just keep being who you are, and you'll start attracting people like that, who are inquisitive for the right reasons and not critical. Having that good conversation, that's healthy, that's fine, but we're not looking for people to criticize it. It's not for you, no problem. I'm going to move on. That would be my
Coach Kim.
Yes, sir.
I think he wants you to speak on the legality of it, as far as what President Obama did and so on and so forth, real quick.
Well, I mean, that's all available via videos and things of that nature. Again, even if someone is skeptical, I think they will find reasons to not do it. 600,000 people, either we're all going to jail or we're all going to be rich, and I'm not going to jail. I like freedom.
I'm not going to jail.
I'm not going to jail. I got things to do,
Can I make a comment?
Sure, Mr. Shuffler.
The thing about this is that if you understand how it's structured, you wouldn't have to convince anyone about whether it's a pyramid or something else, because it's what it is, and it can't compare to anything else. First of all, a pyramid gives the possibility to one person to walk away with everything, right? This can never happen with Million Money. You are always in possession of all your assets. So there's no comparison with the pyramid, right? Yep. So you're actually showing people what's possible. You're not trying to sell them anything, right?
Absolutely.
It's as easy as that.
I thank you for saying that.
And that's why
I would like to back up that gentleman that just spoke his comment by telling you this, the gentleman that asked the question. To back up what that gentleman just said, the very first person, the good thing about this company is you can look at anything that we do. You can see my back office. You can get my ID number and go to the website, million.money, and plug in anyone's ID. You can see exactly what they see. You can see how much money they make, how many people they have on their team, anything. But you cannot manipulate their back office. You can only see, you could just look. So for instance, the pyramid thing, the very first person in this company, which is person number one, ID number one, you can look it up. That person have not made anything. You would think they got all the money, they're the first person in, they got 600,000 people under them, but no, look it up, go to million.money, plug in ID number one. And you will see that person has not made anything.
$3.
Everyone's looked at that idea. Absolutely.
No, yeah, I think the real key to this is understanding how the structure of the program is conceived. It's conceived to totally eliminate any possibility of being robbed.
Yes.
You have possession of a wallet, and everything that you do on this program is in and out into your wallet. There is no value sitting in this website at any time. It's a transactional website. It's a database. It's all those things that allow us to do the business. So it cannot be compared to a pyramid.
Yes. I love that, a transactional website. I'm writing that down, Mr. Shuffler. I always learn when you share. Thank you. Thank you for
You're welcome.
those
All
nuggets. Awesome.
right. Coach Cam, good night.
Yes, Mackie B, you've got the mic.
At the end of the day, if a person is not willing to see out of the box, there's nothing anyone can do to convince them of change their mind. And that's where everything lies. No matter whether they understand or not, they will not see it any differently. They will find 100 reasons to criticize everything. That's basically it.
Yes. As someone said to me one time, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. When people are ready, they'll be on. There's nothing that can get in their way, right? And we don't want you talking to your blue in the face, O'Neill, trying to encourage people who aren't hearing you. They're not ready. Great conversation. Fabian, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the bottom line is that not everyone will catch this vision. There are persons who just, so you share the opportunity and you move on.
Absolutely.
That's my position.
Absolutely. And that's when you know, thank you so much, Fabian. I believe that's when you know that you have stepped into a realm of being a professional, right? Because a professional is not tied to the outcome. You're not tied to, if this person says yes, that's great. It's like you're just going around just like someone offering a drink, iced tea, lemonade. Oh, no, thank you. Okay, next, iced tea, lemonade. That's all you're doing. You're offering persons the opportunity to get unstuck and to get in motion financially. And if they turn that down, it's not personal. They're not ready. They may not have the capacity that you have to embrace something different. But we know that you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and get different results, right? We know that. So they may not know that yet. That's why that statement, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? The information hasn't changed. They've just matured to a level that they're ready to accept a new truth that was staring them in the face the whole time. But that's human nature. That's the bottom line. That's what we're dealing with, human beings. I have a comment for people who are typing in, I'm all in. Make sure that you type that in on the zero gravity wall. Once we see it over there, we will put a little emblem on your profile. That way we'll know. And when it's time to launch, which will be July 4th, if we have 1,000 people, when it's time to launch, we will know who's running with us, right? It'll be very, very clear. So be sure to go to zerogravitymlm.com and get your account and write that right on your wall, that same statement that you wrote here. I look forward to seeing you guys over there as well.
Hey, I have a question, okay?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I am Adrian. I'm in Houston. My dad, Noel, just told me about this last week. So I own a marketing company. So I know how to. I actually have campaigns running right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay. I am just trying to wrap my head around the whole program. Okay. Then I'm going to kill it on Facebook. But as far as the knowledge piece, I'm still, if I cannot explain it to myself yet, but I heard his excitement, so I was like $30 for sure. So, but the thing is that I need to wrap my head around everything first so that I can spit it out. So, just by the mere excitement, I think it's good, but I still think that we need substance to be able to regurgitate it out to someone verbatim so that they understand, So okay. that's my challenge right now, though,
Okay. So are you a member of the Zero Gravity site?
Not yet.
I would suggest that you start there and then go to the FAQ section, and there you'll see lots of just what you're looking for, videos, because really what's happening, Adrian, is it's more like like marinating, right? You can't get it all at one time. It's just too much. It's too many different sides to it, right? But if you marinate or sprinkle a little bit on every time you're faced with it, I tell you, in the beginning and even still today, many days, I learn something new every day. I learned a different way to do something, a different way to say something, right? And then what you're doing is you're putting together like a resource box that works for you, with a hammer and a saw and a drill and an awl and different tools to help you share it with different people, because you can't give everybody a hammer, right? Because people are different. And part of it, we know, and I'm sure you know as a professional marketer, is who you're dealing with and how listening to them before you just crash onto, So as we listen to people and they talk about how they need something to, fill the gap or help their children or take care of their medical bills, then we can talk about, well, this is what you would need to do. Let's get busy. But yeah, I'm going to tell you this very frankly. I'm already looking at Million Money to put together training camps for children, young children, to understand cryptocurrency. So by the time they get into the level of higher education or maybe even starting a business, the money will be there. There's one young lady who's out of Chicago. She's about 13 years old. She started Million Money in February. She's got 2 accounts now. Her first account, she's earned $3,000. Her second account, her first $1,000. And she's building. I asked her dad, who's her sponsor, because, she's definitely a chip off of the block. I asked him, is she dealing with other children? Or is she dealing with, aunties and people who just, oh, we support you, little Sue, or whatever, we support you because we're excited, just like, and we'll buy Girl Scout cookies from you, because adults get all gooey when it comes to helping children in their projects, right? Right. He told me that, yeah, there are some family members who are supporting her, but she signed up her classroom, all of her colleagues, right? So it's like, that's amazing. So literally, this can be whatever you want it to be. I've got another person saying that, they want to use it to help young men on the streets, people just need something to plant themselves. If they just had an anchor, they wouldn't be so flailing hither and yon and not really know their identity. When you have money, it just gives you a chance to breathe, stop, and think. But when you don't have money, you're in that survival mode. So if we can get the money to the people, they can make better choices. So we're looking for different ways to slice it, to say, okay, how do we take this part of Million Money? Because really, when it all comes down to it, Adrian, the simplicity is still get to people. However we want to dress it up and put lipstick on a pig and all that, it still comes down to get to people who get to people who get to people, right? And so the vision, that's the mechanics of it, but the outcome is whatever you want it to be. So we want to have those type of conversations with people, but I'm going to tell you, start in the back office at the Zero Gravity MLM site, zerogravitymlm.com. Get a free membership there. Your membership will be approved, and just start peeling away. It's about 20 questions in there and some videos, things, short videos that'll give you different angles that'll give you the confidence to say, yeah, I got it now. Because I was where you were and I didn't know anything. Now I'm like dreaming about it, and it's a little crazy, but you'll get there for sure. So stay in motion. Who's your sponsor? You said your dad shared this with you?
Yeah, my dad, Noel St. Hill,
okay,
is my sponsor.
And he's Houston. Are you connected to George?
No, he is in Barbados.
Oh, okay. I think I saw his name on the Zero Gravity chart. I think he said he's all in, if I remember that name.
Yes, he's all in.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So Paulette, you got somebody who's fired up and ready to go. Let's make sure he has everything he needs to succeed. All right.
Hello.
Yes, yes. One more question. Patricia, give us we saved the best for last. What do you have for us, Miss Patricia?
Well, I was only told about this, I think, 2 nights ago or 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I am all excited because I really want to make some money. I have some grandchildren I want to help.
Amen.
And I don't fully understand everything, but I will get back to the person who introduced me and get the answers that I want.
Amen.
So, yes, but I'm excited about it.
I can tell. I can hear it in your voice. That's clear to me.
I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any one more burning question? Because I don't want people to.
Hi, Coach Kim.
Yes, sir.
There was someone with their hand up just now, Fee. I don't know if they want to unmute their mic and ask the question.
Thank you, sir. Miss Fee, you have the floor. Going once. Going twice. Oh, Miss Fee, you missed it.
So.
Okay, Miss Fee, if it's who I think it is, maybe you can get in touch with me later and I'll help you. Okay, I'm going to ask one last person if she can answer a question and give some advice as well. I'm going to ask my sponsor, Sharon Drakeford, if she can answer the question or the concern maybe of other grands and pop-ups on the line. Do you see Million Money as something that could help grandchildren and that legacy? That's my first question. And my last question to you, my dear sponsor, is what advice would you give us to help us to excel?
Well, you know, I am doing this for a legacy. I have 25 grandchildren, and to me, I want to be the person that they remember as the person that changed this family's history. And with this, well, it's not really a business. So with this platform, I see that happening, and it's coming every day more and more into reality. And I'm so glad this fell into my lap. And it's something easy to do, something that every family can do for $10, $12. It's unbelievable. So if you don't have an account, you need to get back with your sponsor and say, I'm all in, I want to do this. And then the the other thing we're doing, to me, that the steroids, I can't wait till 4th of July. I cannot wait.
Let me say one thing about that, Sharon, then I'm gonna give you the mic again, because I want to let people know that we are actually going to do some training on that tomorrow night, this Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be pre-training, because we want you going into that day well-armed, confident, focused, knowing what your role is, knowing what the expectation is, and ready to move. That's not the day to scratch your head and say, did they mean what? Wait a minute, what am I supposed to do? Nope. We're going to make sure you have all the resources, all the access, and you are crystal clear on how much time you have to react. Because at that point, we love each and every one of you. I swear we do. But at that point, it's about the group. It's about the entire group. So we got to figure out, and we're figuring out what's going to make this group cycle go through smoothly and minimizing errors. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night, 8:30, same platform, same bat station, same password, all that stuff, which is no password, but same platform, 8:30 p.m. Saturday evening. Come and we'll lay out some things. And guess what? Here, let me say this. Our goal is to simplify it, right? We're not going to come here asking you to do trigonometry, or physics. We want to make this simple. Because if it's simple, my gosh, one of my favorite lines from a movie is Denzel Washington in Philadelphia. He says to Tom Hanks, he says, explain it to me like I'm in the 3rd grade. Right? Because when you make things that simple, people say, I can do that. That's our job, to simplify it, because it'll be simple for us to manage, simple for you to do, and simple for us to do, because we're player coaches. We're in this too, right? So that's what I wanted to say. Please come back tomorrow night, 8:30. And Sharon, what else do we need to do?
Well, somebody asked a quick question. It's going to be Eastern time, 8:30. So they asked, was it Eastern time?
That's what I said, Eastern
But
time.
everyone, you know my favorite thing.
Level up, level up, level up. Amen, amen. Yes,
Amen.
We will see you guys 8:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time, same sign-in. We love you guys and wish you massive success. And guess what? We're just getting started.
Amen.
Thank you guys for being here. Amen. Unmute your mics and celebrate. Just say hey to everybody. Give a shout out to your team members here. Tell us where you're calling from. We want to see.
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Especially Coach Kim. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
She's the best. Thank you.
All
She's
the
the
best.
greatest.
Amen. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Kim. Keep on keeping on.
That's right. Keep keeping on. Let's break the internet, guys. That's our function right now. We're about to tear it.
Hey,
thank
you. This is
Thank you.
exceptional.
Sharon. Blessings to you all. Thank you, Tito. My co-host, extraordinary. Way to go. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, hey. How are you? Good to see you. I see you waving. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
No, I'm talking.
fine.
I think this is. Okay, he's unmuting now. Hello, Gwenny. Gwenny, make sure you go to the site and post your information.
I did it already, Coach.
All right. I love it.
I did. And my guy tonight, Carl Scantlebury, he's all fired up too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's fired up. He said he can't wait to meet you.
I love it. I'm going to Barbados.
He said he wants to have a chat with you.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, we're excited.
I tell him you have to get in line.
July 4th will be here before we know it. This is a promise.
Thank you, Shay Shay.
You're welcome, Ray Ray.
Yeah, he just unmuted his mic. He was waving. I was like, open up. I couldn't.
No, I waved to him.
All right, so energy is flowing. Keep it up.
Amen. It was a pleasure. You're always right on time. Thank you for being here, hanging out with us.
Have a great weekend.
Likewise. See you guys tomorrow at 8:30. Elaine, I see your thumbs up.
See ya.
See you tomorrow night.
I'm just playing around with it.
She still has those hot shoes on. She has those fire shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, those fire shoes are hot.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Mackie B, thumbs up. I'm going to close this out because we're about to break Zoom. Good night, all.
All right.
God bless. Bye-bye.